Hello, everybody. Hi, Charlene. And welcome back, Chris. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Karl. How are you?
Oh, I'm good, thank you. And
Thanks a lot for having me.
hey, it's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. But before we start going on to Runejammer and what we're here to discuss today, how about you give us a quick recap? I know it's the second time here, but pretty sure that there will be people who missed that stream or whatever. So tell us a little
Uh,
about yourself.
sure. I am a US-based graphic design professional and writer and editor, and I'm a regular guy compared to your usual guests. But I am a lifelong RPG gamer. I am enjoying my 46th year as a GM, and I love the hobby. And I got introduced to your channel and your Discord server and met a lot of good friends like yourself who are like-minded and have similar passions for all things tabletop. And in a roundabout way, that is what has brought me here the last couple of years related to uh, the RPG hobby and a renewal in that and new means and modes of pursuing it, and this Runejammer online gaming event.
Okay, so let's go into Runejammer now. What is Runejammer?
Sure. Uh, Runejammer is the brainchild of two prolific contributors to the Runehammer Games RPG community. Phil Philbot Dudley, who you I believe have interviewed previously
That's
earlier this
correct,
year
yes.
on this channel, and Sam Chafin, known as the Merlotron, another prolific contributor, who last year were just sitting around and was like, hey, it'd be really great if we could get together, pull together a bunch of games and just jam them together all in 1 week, offer as many seats at the table as possible, and give people who don't usually have a chance to play or who have never played a chance to experience role playing games in the best way that we can put forward. And there were about 10 other guys, including myself, and we're like, oh, yeah, that'd be cool. And then it's like, well, could do you think we could do it? Yeah, maybe we could do it. It's like, and I think we managed to pull Runejammer 23 together in about 30 days from
Whoa, okay.
point of inception to actually running the first session. And it was a surprising and pretty meaningful success for us. We are looking to at least double our numbers for participation this year for Runejammer 2024, which is what we're here to talk about today.
If I'm
But
not
it is
mistaken, it's already much larger in terms of the number of games, yeah?
it's bigger in every way. But Runejammer is a 100% grassroots, community run, fan based online gaming event, a virtual con for RPG play opportunities. So it's open to all, and it is completely free, and it is going to be running from July 20th through 27th, which is a Saturday to Saturday. And in fact, there are early bird games on July the 19th that there's still seats available and that are going to coincide with what we hope is a YouTube kickoff as well.
Ooh, okay, nice.
But as I said, our goal is to reduce and eliminate barriers to the RPG hobby experience to anybody anywhere around the globe. We're running games around the clock, as you'll get a chance to see as we go through some of the games we're going to showcase today for a solid week. And some of the best and brightest minds on the Shield Wall, the Runehammer fan community, uh, have volunteered their time, to all volunteer, to share this experience and bring the best possible games that they can come up with to the table for anybody who wants to join.
And yeah, and it's for gamers of all levels, right? So even if you've never played a game before, whatever, people are welcome to come in and play basically.
Yes, it is. It is open to all. It is challenging for experienced RPGers, but it is also requires no experience or familiarity with Runehammer games systems. So as we take a look at those two, uh, if somebody's been curious about index card role-playing game or Crown and Skull or Easy D6, DM Scotty's fan favorite, uh, or some of the other offerings that we have, including supplemental settings and independent third-party publications that work with these systems, like uh, the Four Horsemen that you are the author of for EZD6. These are opportunities for people who just want to dip a toe and see what some of these systems are like, and they will see how good they really are.
Okay, speaking of games, I did get Crown and Skull. I have been reading through the rules so far, but it's a bit of a slab, so I think it might take me a bit longer to get the hang of it. But I will definitely be following
Yes,
some of the
yes, it
games.
is. And brace yourself, that's only volume one, so we should
Oh,
get that out there.
yeah.
And I also wanted to say that even though this is a 100% fan-based Runehammer community endeavor, we certainly want to express our appreciation to the man himself, Hank Brandish Gilhelm, Hanker and Farinail, creator of Crown and Skull and creator of the Index Card RPG. Uh, I'm sure he just kind of sits back and shakes his head and watches crazy people who like his stuff do this, but we appreciate that he allows us to do it.
I mean, he got together a bunch of really good people there, so
Yeah, yes, indeed, and in fact, definitely have kudos to give out to there as we get started. I also wanted to make sure that I give special appreciation uh, to DM Scotty McFarlane, creator of EZD6, in addition to being an absolute great guy and an inspiration to people in the tabletop hobby in a variety of ways. Uh, he has kindly volunteered his time and headlined our event for a second year in a row now. And so, Scotty, thank you very much.
okay. I don't imagine that there are any slots open on his games at this point, but if anyone has a chance to play with him, do it. It's just so much fun.
And as we're showcasing the games that have open seats today, I will also tell you is that we have waitlist spots available on every seat, uh, on every session, because you never know what's going to happen. And Runejammer DMs are pretty famous for pivoting midweek, looping in extra players when they feel they can, if it doesn't blunt the table experience, and in some cases taking an entire waitlist and spinning off an additional session.
Ooh, okay.
So if you see a game that you like and maybe there's no wait list or maybe there's one person on it, it does not hurt anything or anyone to click on that, put your name on the list in order, and cross your fingers. Uh, Things happen.
Okay, and with that, shall we have a look at these slides you prepared for us?
Absolutely. This is the rundown one more time. Runejammer 2024, a free Runehammer RPG online con, virtual con, online gaming event. We are offering games around the clock for a week for anybody. We are trying to cover as many time zones as possible in prime time. And we did a pretty good job this year. We have a total of 80 game sessions currently on the books, and they continue to fill up. It's scheduled for July 20th through 27th, as I mentioned, with some early bird games on the evening of Friday the 19th. Uh, you do not need to know anything about Runehammer games or RPGs in general to play, but regardless of your level of experience, we're going to try to make sure you enjoy your time with us. You can visit www.runejammer.com to have all the complete details, including code of conduct and list of all the other important information and a walkthrough and FAQ. And then we are using the Sked platform at runejammer24.sked.com for game signups. So that's where you can go to have the specific information on the sessions and click on the roster to claim your seat.
Okay, and there should also be some links in the description at the bottom of the stream, so we can just go directly to the Runejammer site and find the links there as well.
Outstanding. Thank you.
Hey, no worries. Okay, going on to the next one. What do we have here?
Actually, if we could pop back to the speaker list, I just wanted to acknowledge all of our volunteer GMs.
Okay,
I think it's,
there we go.
yep, that's it right there. Again, once a massive shout out and tremendous thanks to DM Scotty for being our special guest GM this year, returning for that role. And he's kind of the inspiration for what we are doing. My good friend Andrew Strickland, S5 Photog, on the Runehammer forum and elsewhere, my partner in crime, has been absolutely instrumental in helping Runejammer 2024 take shape. You, along with Phil, you interviewed Scott Merrill, Skippy, another diehard Runehammer shield waller who has been absolutely instrumental in making this happen. Taking care of things behind the scenes in addition to his many Runehammer responsibilities for Runehammer Games proper, that is opening up a new brick and mortar store in the Fishtown area of Philadelphia this summer, 2401 Frankfurt Avenue. So if you're in the area, keep posted on that for when it opens. Is the man, the myth, the legend, Kane Driscoll, who will be a very prominent Rune Hammer community pillar.
He also runs Kane Skins, if I'm not mistaken.
And one of the most well-known GMs that we have. Phil Dudley, Philbot on the forums, again, has been instrumental in making this happen. We have a whole bunch of new GMs that have joined some of the veterans from last year, including Tornado Fire Drew, my good friend, Micah Ant Bear Green, Monomakes, who has an incredible selection of artisanal handcrafted polyhedral dice that he puts together. Mono is also a really talented Barcelona, I believe, based GM that I've had the pleasure of sitting at the table for before. He is also donating some of our raffle prizes. So we're grateful to him for all of his efforts and contributions.
I have played a couple of games with Mono. He's a lot of fun to play with.
Without a doubt. We have a lot of other regular community members, Death Bear, Mirage, who is one of our GMs from up north, one of our international GMs in Canada, has put together some interesting games based on a new setting that he has been working on, that he has been think tanking at Kane Driscoll's website, the Kane's Kiln, or rather Kane's Kiln Discord server. We have other Runehammer shield walders like Tater, Taylor. You have kindly contributed a couple of sessions, and we're grateful to have you as a new GM this year. Lisa, the dungeon matron, our good friend, is joining us this year. Paladin Pros, our friend Tanner, our man in Japan, is going to be a new GM this year. Alejandro Cortez, Joe McGee, Quirkville, Brian Thompson, Steve Canaris, Jerry Whiting, from J-Face Games, Trent Harrison, Dr. Bruce Ballin, who you interviewed, David Ward from Grimwood Games, and that's right, Hound and Jackal just finished his Kickstarter.
Oh yeah,
Matt Yancic from Manufactured Myth and Leisure Domain, who is somebody who, if you don't know Karl, I got to get you in touch with, because you guys will probably hit it off.
I've seen some of the stuff he's working on. Looks super interesting. So yeah, definitely.
It looks super interesting. I'm psyched about it.
And I know that
I'm
David
rounding out.
Sorry, I was saying that I know that
No, go right.
David Ward from Grimwood Games has also finished up or is finishing up on one of his new books, Grimwood City. That's also looking fantastic. Also a
Right
great guy
on.
to play with. And yeah,
And
you're also
I'm running out the roster of a total of 24 GMs that we have.
okay. And I see you're also on the list, so I'm hoping that you're going to start rolling out that project of yours that you've been talking about for a while.
Yeah, and we'll probably mention that too. We can go through and we'll look at one of the things that I wanted to make sure that I tried to give people a better idea of just what's happening at Runejammer in terms of sessions is the fact that not only are these all volunteer GMs that are some of the brightest stars in the Runehammer fan community, but they are dedicated to the hobby and the craft, and they are prolific creators of RPG scenarios, and there are quite a number of people who are debuting publicly settings and supplements that they have worked on diligently over the past year, and you get a chance to have sneak peeks of them when you come and join some of these Runejammer games.
Okay, bring that up. These are the main systems that will be at the
That's right.
Runejammer, but not the only ones, right? Because I've seen that there's also
That's right. Not limited to, but including these Runehammer games RPG system offerings, Index Card RPG, the Juggernaut, the one that really put Runehammer on the map. DM Scotty's Easy D6, which is got the new Wasted World supplement that is just out recently, and I was part of the playtest for that. It was absolutely fantastic, and it has hit the market. And volume one of the Crown and Skull series, which is the current focus and flagship for Runehammer systems offerings.
okay. And with that, shall we go into some of the featured games?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I wanted to acknowledge some of the hard work that is going into these games. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at that. I mentioned Matt Yancic of Manufactured Myth and Legend Man, who is absolutely fantastic interview and actual play channel that is worth checking out on YouTube. He has got this new setting, Bone and Metal, which has got the flavor of Seven Samurai, but with an anthropomorphic fantasy, animal fantasy
So
thrown in.
kind of
There's a
seven.
lot of interesting things going on in there, and there are 1, 2, 3 sessions, I believe, that Matt has given us that are sorry, 2 sessions that include uh, new material from Bone and Metal.
Nice. I haven't. I'm not sure what state it's in. Has it been published already? Because I remember Scotty talking about it and being really hyped about it, but I don't know where it's at yet.
With apologies to Matt and anybody else that I give any mistaken information on. I think this one is still in development,
Mhm.
but it is upcoming. Most of this stuff, if it's not already out, and I'll try to mention the ones that are, but if it's not already out, it is expected out by the end of the year.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this one because it looks like a lot of fun. It's like Akira Kurosawa with a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle aesthetic.
Exactly.
Okay, jumping on to the next one.
Mirage, Joshua has put together Valencia Age of Awakening, which has a nice mixed genre feel where in his he's got a particular setting. I think it's What Lurks Below, which he is debuting this material at Runejammer. He's been working super hard on it. He's been think tanking it in the Kane's Kiln Discord. And you have a bit of a race against time to stop bad eldritch things from happening in a world where arcane magic has being rediscovered, as I understand it.
Ooh, okay. And that is a good-looking map. I'm a sucker for a good map.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. He's been working super hard on it, and is a very thoughtful creator from my interactions with him, and I bet he runs a hell of a game.
Okay, running on to the next one.
Yeah. Andrew, S5 Photog, I could not make Runejammer happen without him. He's been absolutely instrumental. He's a fantastic friend, and he is one of the most prolific, uh, expert, and thoughtful GMs that we have going into this. He's got 3 sessions, I believe, and a variety, and they are based on a variety of offerings. And I think most of this stuff is actually already available on itch at 2716gaming.itch.io. The Hall of Lord Ashthorn, in particular, is a wonderful medieval fantasy romp. It's a short, simple adventure, and it's an ideal starter adventure for both new GMs and new players, but also one that somebody who is more experienced can really put the teeth into.
Nice. So definitely be looking this up later. I'll try to go through these later and pick up any links you left in so we can put them in the comments later. Because it's definitely worth spreading this information around.
Absolutely, that's fantastic. Drew, Tornado Fire on a Runehammer server has been working for some time to create his own particular flavor and style, both of game and of setting. Isengrim Manor. Isengrim Manor. He likes. Drew likes to say that he has a GM style that is board games with theatrics, which I love. And he has been working super hard on this game, and it looks super fantastic. It is living up to his promise of board games with theatrics in that it is a complete fantasy setting, but it is got a real fairy tale flavor, which is something that he excels at, and it encompasses the use of a panoply of uh, pre-generated player characters, and each one has their own theme. We have from right to left here on the screen. I think we have Candle and Braids and the Kid and the Charmer. But just like when you were kids and you fought with your siblings over which Monopoly piece you were going to get to play with, and who got the car and who got stuck with the iron. Um, you have this selection of carefully crafted uh, player characters that you can then put your own spin on and go through a really fascinating and integrated series of uh, adventures. And I believe he has 4 or 5 of these games running at Runejammer.
Nice.
So I'm going to be particularly interested to see what the feedback is like. I'm really excited about this. And if anybody is particularly sharp-eyed among the Easy D6 fans, you will note that the character art there is by Sean Bova, who illustrated Easy D6.
Yeah, I was wondering why it looked kind of familiar. Nice.
Yeah,
I can see
so
that.
big shout out to him.
Yeah, I mean, I think after DM Scotty, I think the Easy the Six wouldn't have the same flavor without his art.
It certainly adds, and I think it's going to make a fine foil for the wonderful work that Drew has done for Eastern Grim Manor. So you will be able to, again, Kane's Kiln Discord server and the icrpg community uh, content site, which is actually the same site where the Runejammer landing page is hosted, are an excellent way to get information and stay abreast of these new independently published offerings as they come out.
Perfect. I see that Tina Martins and Hounds and Jackals have joined us. Hi, Tina and Bruce. Hope you're doing great. And yeah, I think we should be
Hello,
talking a bit more
Tina.
about Bruce in a second. But yeah, this sounds really interesting because from what I understand, it sounds a lot like the Talisman board game with a lot more interaction, and that's always a lot of fun.
It is, as I said, he has managed to create mechanics that and just a setting that has just a wonderful kind of twisted fairy tale flavor, and that is something that he is just really, really good at.
Okay, bring up. Okay, it looks like I'm up next.
I don't know what kind of hack wrote this book, but it's fantastic.
Here it's some kind of weirdo.
And if uh, people are not familiar with Karl's excellent historical setting offering for EZD6, if you can imagine a Habsburg, anti-Habsburg annihilation reaction going for the 30 Years' War and use that as a context to create all kinds of dark medieval fantasy tone that has a historical grounding. This is a great book. I was super psyched when it came out, and I own it and I recommend it.
Yeah, you also got an honorable mention in the credits because you were listening into the to one of the playtests while we were doing roofing work.
That's true. I remember it. I remember it.
Okay, next. Oh, I wonder who this
This
weirdo is.
is a project of mine. Omnisumbra, Adventure in the 12 Realms. I've revamped the art style and I am penning away slowly but surely to get this one out. But I'm super excited about it. It is a medieval fantasy setting for Index Card RPG, Master Edition. It is a spin off project from or at least it started as a spin-off project from a ICRPG monster manual, Munib's Menagerie, that is also forthcoming, and that I am again just trying to get the art dialed in so that I can release both of these, hopefully in the next few months. But Omnisumbra will be out first. Omnisumbra is uh, its own dimension, separate from the realm of Alfheim that is outlined in the card RPG Master Edition. It is a realm of eternal shadow. It's wilder, weirder, and darker. It has lots of room to explore. 12 different realms, kingdoms, if you will, each with its own flavor. The game includes 6 different indigenous playable races that are part of the experience of sinking your teeth into not being in Alfheim anymore. And the feedback that I've gotten from it so far and the playtests have been promising. And I'm pretty proud of it. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I have sneak peek content from Omnisumbra peppered into several of my Alfheim games
Ooh.
in Runejammer. Munim's Menagerie is going to be good old general purpose ICRPG monster manual based on about 5 years worth of uh, creating and playtesting monsters. The current roster has 120 monsters that have served me well as a GM, and I am putting them all together and trying to bring those to the rest of the Runehammer fan community. So look for that one as well. I just bought the domain, so it's only parked. But in addition to the ICRPG community content page, you'll be able to get details and information at www.omnisumbra.com.
Okay, you showed me some of the drafts for some of the locations, and even some of the areas themselves have a lot of variety within them. So the full 12 of that is going to be pretty awesome. Okay,
I hope so. Thank you.
let's just 1 second. So, Hounds and Jackals says he just came in to support Chris and Runejammer. Yep,
Thank you
good
very
for you, Chris.
much.
Bruce. Questboard Train, hi Kim. Excited to play this year? Definitely.
Oh, I'm glad to see Kim. Hello.
Tina Martins is crafting the day away. Living the life,
Hi,
aren't you?
Tina.
Scott Kelly, 30 years war demands someone gets defenestrated. Everyone loves a defenestration, come on.
Good to see you, sir.
Okay, Earthman Brick saying Chris is the bestest, absolute legend. I agree with that.
You are very kind, Steve. It's good to see you, my friend.
All right, and Scott Kelly is saying this is fun, Chris and Karl. Thanks for the explanation. Sometimes hard to know what the background for these creations from the Runejammer 24 descriptions. Yeah, I mean the descriptions are very concise, so it's good to have kind of a bit more of an explainer.
And as people are clicking on some of the sessions from our event catalog at runehammer24.sked.com, the other important thing to do is take a look at the speaker page or to click through to the link. Then you get a little bit of a GM bio for most of the people, and they give you just some concise details. They give you a real flavor for who they are, where they come from, and why they like bringing games to people like you. And I think that will help make for an even more meaningful experience if you have that background when you are selecting your games. So I encourage people to take a look at that when they're perusing the schedule. And we'll try to comment on the folks that I know well as we are going through the showcase of available games.
Awesome. Okay, let's see, featured game session. I think we can start with this one. Which is
Actually,
yours?
there's one right before it, I think, is Matt
Is there?
Yancey's. If not, no, yeah, there it is. Nope, I beg your pardon.
Not this one?
I'm wrong. I thought there was, I thought Matt had one more on that still had open seats, but I might be wrong.
That's
It's called Poisoned Tigers, but it is also a bone and metal tale, so maybe this will work out well. If there's still seats available, it's Friday evening at 8 p.m. This is the early bird Friday, so that's Friday the 19th. But it is also an easy D6 game in this same setting. We'll save this one for the end because Matt is bracketing our entire event. He's also closing out, so we can go to the first one of my games that was on
okay,
the
there we go.
list. This one here. Shadows Over Broken Rock is a pretty neat experiment, beg your pardon, pretty neat scenario. It is brought back from the offerings we had for Runejammer 2023, and I've had a chance to play it a few times since. It includes Omnisumbra sneak peek content, and it is a good old-fashioned medieval fantasy dungeon crawl that involves these menacing winged creatures that have mysteriously appeared in Nordheim and are making bad things happen. And it is up to you to take the fight to them and stop the plight.
Okay, I see that Phil has managed to join us. We've been talking about you, so hope you're doing good, Phil.
It's good to see Phil. He's the best. We've been talking since early this morning.
Remind me, is this a continuation of the game you were running last year, or is it a totally separate thing?
Actually, no, there is one though. The game that you played in, the Unalaya Horror, which also included some of these creations from Munib's Menagerie and Omnisumbra, has a sequel game, Return to Unalaya, that is on the
Oh,
schedule.
okay. So the next one. Oh, tentacles.
This is from Mirage. This is what I had mentioned to you. This is a sleeping eldritch horror. And you have clues from an archaeologist to race against the clock and stop bad things from happening before the beast rises. He is one of our new event GMs. We're super happy to have him. I know him well from his think tank work on the Kane's Kiln Discord server, and we're super happy to have him. I'm very much looking forward to this particular event.
Okay.
Tina asked if you can follow the games online without playing, and unfortunately, you are not able to do so. We made a decision to eschew live streams or recordings of actual plays this year, just because we want people to focus on their experience and have their experience. And as much as we would like to record all of the amazing work that is being done, uh, we decided to prioritize, again, reducing barriers to access. And if somebody doesn't want to be part of that for posterity, and that might stop them from enjoying themselves and signing up to play our games, we made that decision.
Okay, we also have
So
another.
my advice is, if you can do it, even if it's only for one session, if you can find time to play a game that's running pretty much around the clock anytime where somebody is, even during weekday mornings before work, it's a guilty pleasure, and it's worth popping in for a session.
Okay, and I'm guessing worst case, because as Phil is saying, it depends on the comfort level of the people at the table. So some people
That's
might
correct.
not like to have spectators, some people might be okay with it, so maybe just ask at that point.
One thing that has been absolutely critical to, again, this being a all for one grassroots community based event, is that the GMs do maintain complete autonomy over and responsibility for what they do at the table. Everybody's working within a common set of guidelines that's outlined in our code of conduct, but uh, we don't tell our GMs what to do. They are able to negotiate with their players if they need to change anything up for what's going on in the session. So every participant is part of the experience of their session and how Runejammer in aggregate as a whole comes off. So this is something that you can talk about with uh, your GM if you sign up for a session. And you still have 4 weeks. So there's lots of time for negotiation and adjustments.
Okay, and you're saying that you never played, but basically this is open to gamers of all level, including people who have never touched a set of dice before. So if you want to jump in,
Yes, it is.
I see that.
Someone who is a tabletop crafting legend like Tina Martins, uh, but has never played or doesn't have familiarity with a particular system. This is exactly uh, who Runejammer is for.
See, and yeah, it looks like Hounds and Jackals has already found your game. Okay, and for it skips off the screen. 1 second. A suggestion from Bruce as well. Maybe we can ask the players to write up their experience of the games without giving any spoilers. Hmm. Okay, I think that's again up to the organizers and the players, so I think that should be fun still.
Right on.
Okay, but with that, let's jump onto. Oh, wasted
There
world.
we go. Our friend Steve Canaris is putting together a wasted world post-apocalyptic Easy D6 scenario, the Leroy Brown job. This is part of the new setting and mechanics that have just come out from DM Scotty. We're super glad to have him for the first time as an event GM for Runejammer 2024. And again, this is a wonderful setting, the a great book, and I have sat at his table before. He has a very unique talent as a GM, and we're glad to have him running games for us this year.
Yeah, I've played with Steve, both as players. I've never played with him as a GM, but he's a lot of fun to be around.
A lot of fun. A lot of fun.
And yeah, Wasted World is pretty amazing. Okay.
This is one of Andrew's games. S5 Photog, 2716 Gaming, Assault on Winter's Hall, uh, is a wonderful medieval fantasy gauntlet, if you will. It's straightforward, not to give it too many spoilers, but there are twists, turns, and threats at every turn. It's a challenging scenario, and I just love it. It's going to be great. As I said, I think he's one of our most prolific creators in the Runehammer fan community, and he's also a terrific GM. He and I share behind the screen crib notes all the time, and I don't know anybody who puts more into putting together scenarios for his players. He's a great GM.
I mean, even the presentation on this looks really good. Okay, next.
We talked about Torn's Isengrim Manor, and he has a total of 4 sessions at different times around the Runejammer calendar across almost the entire first half of our event. So on Saturday, July 20th, Monday, July 22nd, Tuesday, July 23rd, and Wednesday, July 24th. He's running 1 game on each of those days. Check the schedule for the specific times, and each one is going to be focusing on a different segment and setting of his broader Isengrim Manor campaign.
Awesome. I see that Mia also joined us. Hi, Mia. And
hello.
To the next page.
One of our new event GMs who has answered the call to bring even more Crown and Skull than we thought we were going to be able to offer. Step up, and a lot of appreciation for Jerry Whiting. He is running a Star Wars Mandalorian style game called Crown of the Mythosaur Mandalore Calls. It is it looks absolutely fantastic for somebody who wants to have a little bit of space opera western.
That's all right. So so he's basically using the Crown and Skull system for a sci-fi game kind of thing.
That is correct.
Nice.
This is one of Monomake's games, and I encourage people for me to begin to embrace what I think this game is about is hard to put in words, especially in 30 to 60 seconds. So I would just say you got to read his introduction, his opening scene that he puts in his description for it, because it stands on its own. But you see the URL below. It's called The Peril of Anchor Island. It's one of several that Mono has put together for us this year. He is a veteran of Runejammer 2023 last year. And again, many thanks to him for his additional contributions of the raffle prizes for polyhedral dice. He really does absolutely beautiful work in that regard too, as well as being a GM. He has an Etsy store. I think it's Mono Makes Crafts or something like that. But if you type that in and or Mono Makes Dice, you will definitely find it on Google and check out his wares. They are highly prized dice sets among the Runehammer fan community.
Okay, I played this one already with him when he was playtesting it. He's good. He's really good.
Yes, without a doubt. He's a bit of a showman. He really is. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, literally the game is a spectacle. So yeah, get on there, play it, enjoy it.
Another GM from the Runehammer fan community that we are super happy to have with us for the first time is Brian Thompson. He again answered the call to try to bring more Crown and Skull to the system. Escape from Atlantis is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It sounds like it's going to be a blast. We're grateful to him for helping Runejammer to offer as many opportunities as possible to dip a toe in the water and try out Hank's new system that debuted this year.
Okay. Oh, this is mine.
Yeah, this is another guy. And Karl has got another really interesting. I'm going to let you talk about it, but this one is available as well. The Pool of Nameless Things. Again, we love EZD6 and we love independently published content that takes advantage of the open EZD6 license. So tell us about your game, Karl. Let me do the interviewing for a second.
Okay, so I know that you've already played this one because you were in the playtest for this with, I want to say, Sean, Earthman Brick, and believe Customer Train was also there.
That's
So,
right.
so yeah, it's basically trying to the party is trying to meet up with a friend who happens to be in this weird isolated village where nothing strange is happening, and that's all I'm going to say about the plot.
Nothing at all. Nothing.
It's a
What could possibly go wrong?
perfectly normal farming village.
I enjoyed myself immensely at this one, and I know that the folks who are signed up will do so as well.
Right, jumping on to the next one. Hey, thanks, Bruce. Okay.
Also on Tuesday, our good friend Lisa, the Dungeon Matron, hostess of Matron's Machinations Discord server, which is a great crafting and hobby community that I encourage people to seek out, has put together a game for us, Deja Vu. This is a discovery play session using EZD6. Discovery play as a GM technique for on-the-fly scenario creation has created a lot of buzz in recent years, and I am really excited to see how this goes and what Lisa does with it. But the idea is that you wake up in strangely familiar and yet also unfamiliar surroundings and circumstances. You are mildly injured, groggy, your face is in the dirt, and as your eyes come to focus, you're in a junkyard of sorts. There are curios and curiosities about you in an overcast sky, and you find yourself among like lost souls
Okay.
who are in similar condition, not knowing what's going on around them, and it is up to you to discover who you are, why you're there, and what you need to do. And these tend to be absolutely uh, exciting and engaging sessions. And even if you are someone who has never played a role playing game, a discovery game is actually a fantastic opportunity, not only to get into the hobby, but have a really entertaining and memorable experience that is very unlike your standard traditional uh, tunnels and monsters style
Yeah,
game.
for sure.
Uh, without a doubt, it's going to be cool. I really appreciate Lisa's skill as a GM. I've played in many of her games. I really think that she has a real talent, and this is one of the few Runejammer sessions that's going to be 100% theater of the mind, if I am not mistaken. And you could not be in better hands than hers.
I, I totally agree on that. I played a lot of Lisa's games. The woman has an imagination. Let's leave it at that. Always sort of fun to play with her.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, another one from Steve.
Yeah, Steve has got another one, Wizard's Tower. I didn't get a whole lot of information about this, but all I can tell you is that my experience as a player at his table is 100% positive, and I know this one is going to be a good one. I look forward to hearing the feedback from it.
There we go.
This is part of Grimwood Games' new setting. Dave Ward has either put this out or is putting it out, at least in an easy D6 version. I guess it might have originally had its own system
I
engine.
think he's publishing both of them. So one with its own system and one with Easy Cruise.
But if you are interested in all things Easy D6, this is an opportunity to check out a new offering and a new setting. I believe he's got 3 games run in the same scenario, the night the lights went out in Grimwood. And I encourage you to check that out and check out his website as well.
For sure. If I'm not mistaken, this is based on his Grimwood City urban fantasy, so it's kind of like
That is my understanding as well. And he's a new event GM for Runejammer 2024, so we appreciate his contribution.
so if you're into the Dresden Files and that kind of thing, just right up your street.
That's right. If you visit the Grimwood Games YouTube channel as well, I think he's got some live streams where he did some Runejammer GM interviews as well. They may be continuing that probably right up until game week in 4 weeks.
Oh,
So
nice.
you can check that out as well.
Okay, and he's also again really fun to play with, really fun person to play with.
Right on. I was connected with Dave by Wes Allen of GM Tales, another great YouTube channel for the hobby for reviews and interviews. Wes has been a real friend to Runejammer as well for 2 years running, and I am hoping to see him at the tables this year. This game is mine. Wow. Oh yeah. The Blackwood File. The Blackwood File, Karl probably knows, is returning this year from Runejammer 2023. This uses an independently published free hack, the Cthulhu hack, for cosmic horror scenarios using Index Card RPG Master Edition. It's a favorite. It is based on or an homage to a Call of Cthulhu 6th and 7th edition John Hook scenario. And it's a murder mystery whodunit. And I have a lot of fun mystery investigations as RPGs, and cosmic horror are some of my favorite scenarios. This blends elements of both along with some film noir tone, and I really hope to see as many people as possible. There's still a few seats left in this game, and I would love to have a full table as you go back 100 years ago in Boston to uncover the mystery.
Also, 1920s CSI tentacles. What else could you want?
Very interesting. Jerry has stepped up with an icrpg session as well, Echo cited. This is a Planet of the Apes inspired scenario. So you're going to get some real interesting twists and turns and some wonderful flavor that will be familiar to fans. We're really looking forward to seeing how that one goes.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting concept. I mean,
one of the things that I've always loved about index card role-playing games since I first found it circa 2019, so 5 years ago, I have searched my entire life to find a truly universal RPG system that will allow me to do any kind of tone, style, structure, or genre in a way that is easy to run at the table and also easy to onboard players who are not familiar with the system. Easy D6, I beg your pardon, Easy D6 actually shares with icrpg this particular quality, but Index Card RPG ticks all of those boxes for me. And so I love to see the tremendous variety and creativity that goes into all of the different uh, settings and scenarios that Runejammer is featuring that aren't necessarily a plain vanilla medieval fantasy.
Yeah, true. I mean, and as I was saying, getting inspiration from movies is pretty normal in this hobby, but Planet of the Apes is really like, okay. How would you bend it into a playable game? It's like okay,
That, that's absolutely right. It's going to be really, really neat to see. And in fact, it's not the only such work that is being pioneered. Uh, you may be familiar with J.D. Hull's "The Waste Is Not Kind." "The Waste Is Not Kind" from Epic Sloth Games is an independently published post-apocalyptic scenario for index card role-playing game. It's a full toolkit actually that
okay.
continues to be expanded as work is done on its second edition. He's a good friend. He's a fantastic GM, and he is also working in collaboration with Kane Driscoll. Uh, the Waste, as a post-apocalyptic setting, is organized around a series of sectors. So you have a very Mad Max style, deserty feeling Alpha Sector, and you have November Sector, which kind of is like my neck of the woods here in the American Pacific Northwest. And each one has different factions and different locations and different foes to face. And the anthropomorphic ape angle is definitely covered. Kane has delivered 100% in his work in that regard.
Nice. Okay, let's see.
This is one of Ant Bear's offering. Micah is a Runehammer regular. He is a good friend, and he is a really talented player and game master. He and I first spent a lot of time together as players in the community-based Alf Marches, kind of West Marches style campaign that went off 2 years ago, I guess it was. Uh, and he's one of the most just creative players and thoughtful players and excellent role players uh, for coming up with character concepts and making them come to life that I have ever come across. He is a visual artist by training and trade. He has a wonderful illustration style. Um, if you ever get a chance to check out his work, and he's
Oh,
also a
definitely.
great GM. I got my butt handed to me in one particular game that Mike ran that was the funnest time that I ever died. And I and uh, I look forward to what Red Fang is going to offer. Again, this is one that I encourage you to just click through and read his description because I think he describes it better than I do. Uh, but this is one of our midweek offerings here on Wednesday, the 24th of July. And I encourage people to fill that table.
Okay, that see that Scott is agreeing about the complexity of systems and how index card RPG is simple. The thing is that with both index card RPG and Easy D6, they are simple to learn, but they're not like simple as in okay, you can only do these three things.
And that's what makes them powerful tools as
Yeah,
universal engines for role-playing games, because just because the mechanics are streamlined
yeah, I think
does
that
not mean that does not mean that they are limited. They really invite GMs who are DIY GMs and who like to hack the game to go where they want to go and do what they need to do.
yeah, that's another big thing I like about them because it's literally out of the box. Here's the framework. You can do whatever you like with it. Tear it apart, do other stuff, have fun. It's not like, oh no, you have to have
Totally,
this book and the supplement and this other thing and this widget and these special dice and.
totally.
But yeah, and I believe it was yeah, Bruce Hounds and Jackals was saying last time on his interview with Dave that it's better to think of it as streamlined than as rules light. I think it's makes a lot more sense that way.
I agree with that.
Okay. Coming up with the next one, I think it's a Crown and Skull one, yeah?
Yes, indeed. Again, Brian Thompson had made sure that we had as much Crown and Skull as we could possibly make, because those games, again, this being the newest Runehammer Games system offering, have filled up fast. And he answered the call to make sure that we had enough to meet demand. Taken by Frogkin is a little bit lighthearted and a little bit dark all at the same time. But it's exactly what it sounds like. If you can imagine that you need a particular set of skills in order to recover what needs recovering and come out in one piece. It looks like it's going to be a great game.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that at some point someone will try to lick the Frogkin.
No doubt.
There is a 0% chance of that not happening. Okay, Phil is saying, hey, I do like my funky dice sometimes. I think I only have about 2 sets of dice total. I don't. I mean, I never got the dice hoarding thing.
Some people cannot get enough dice.
Yeah, and I mean, I've only got more than one set because sometimes different box sets have their own sets of dice, so they keep piling up. So
I like having lots of D20s, because there's nothing I like better than just having a horde of 40 kobolds and having to get out a Yahtzee cup in order to attack people with all those slings. Here we go. Our man Skippy has chosen to run a true Runehammer Games classic scenario. Orvald's Tower is a wonderful adventure from the icrpg adventure pack. This is one that's a medieval fantasy scenario. It's a race against time that begins at the end. You find yourself at the top of a tower, having just defeated the wizard Orvald, and his entire sanctum sanctorum is coming down around you. You have to get out in one piece in only so many rounds. It's always fun. It's always entertaining. It always shakes down a little bit differently. And it's endlessly replayable. In fact, this is also one of the games that's linked on the icrpg community content page for GMs who want to wind up running it for themselves. But I guarantee Skippy, I've run this with him as a player at my side, and understanding his prowess as a GM, I think this is going to be one game that you shouldn't miss if you're interested in Runejammer.
I see that Dungeon Matron also joined us. Hey, Lisa, we have been talking about you.
Yes, indeed. All good things.
And yeah, I think I remember when he was on the stream, he was talking about this, and he was totally hyped about it.
Yeah, and it's also one that I know for a fact that he has run many times and really perfected. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a great experience to get a chance to have somebody who knows this intimately and is as thoughtful as a GM as Skip running this one.
Awesome. Okay, and next one is the Wednesday night midfield.
This was not part of our original offerings when in mid-May when we opened registration. I'd been holding it in reserve, but this Wednesday night pit fight is exactly what it sounds like. It's our midweek showcase offering that is returning from Runejammer 2023. This is the pinnacle of brutal player versus player action for the coveted title of Runejammer Tag Team Champion. This takes place in Alfheim, in the medieval fantasy setting that is part and parcel to ICRPG Master Edition in the city of Arleston, which is known for its gladiatorial events. And this is a big scenario. It requires a minimum of 4 players and can take up to 8 people. Each player is going to create 2 player characters that they're going to run in tandem. And you go up against another tag team and you fight it out in single elimination and in different scenarios and in different settings that are going to challenge you environmentally until there is only one pair standing, and they will be crowned champion. We had a lot of fun with this as our big closer at the end of RJ 2023, and I'm looking forward to running it again. I love seeing the amazing character concepts that get brought in to ICRPG in general and to Wednesday Night Pit Fight in particular.
Okay, so it sounds like a proper meat grinder.
But this time the players bring the heat on each other and the GM just
Yeah.
sits back and rolls the dice.
This one's going to be interesting. Okay. Oh, okay. We have a hard suit one.
That's right. Hondo has given us another Discovery Play session, the Intro to Hard Suit. So Hard Suit is an ICRPG Master Edition setting. It's its own book. It is well worth owning. It's got some fantastic mechanics and the world of Atria. And this is a not your average vanilla fantasy setting in which there are this rediscovery and reemergence of very old biomechanical technology in the form of these hard suits. It's not your regular mech, but it is these interesting creations that you see pictured there, and they are part of the big changes that are afoot in the world. And it's a neat supplement. It's certainly worth picking up. And this is one of our few games that we have that feature it at Runejammer 2024. And I'm glad there's still seats available. People should snap them up. We're really appreciative to have Mr. Cortez as our brand new event GM for RJ24.
Are those suits available as STL somewhere?
Yes, they are.
Oh, nice. Okay, linked in the Runejammer community or Karl's 3D, any idea?
I beg your pardon?
I said, where would one find them?
I know that you can find the links. I would say either check the Runehammer forum or the ICRPG community content page. The other thing to be would be forum.runehammer.online. That is the Runehammer online forum. And there's going to be a post for one of those. I apologize for not getting the link to those. That's something that people would want to know. I will try to put it in the comments.
Sure, all right.
Once this session gets archived.
Okay, all right. Different game now. Viking. That's good.
That's right. Definitely not least among the official Runehammer games system offerings, Viking Death Squad, a D6 pool game, began as one of Hank's brainchildren as an ICRPG session, but blossomed into its own system and with its wonderful aesthetic and death metal tinged feel. And Jerry has embraced this one fully. The idea is that 10 millennia in the future of Earth, you are a reincarnated Viking warrior, and that's the general shtick for Viking Death Squad. And you are there to stop the brutal changes that are afoot from the war pigs. And it involves all kinds of evil that is afoot. And I will be really interested to see what Jerry does with this particular session. It sounds really great. It's one of 2 Viking Death Squad games that we have on the Runejammer 2024 roster.
Viking Death Squad gives you a vibe of 1980s heavy metal that's been literally drenched in Red Bull and given candy to play.
Definitely so.
Okay, next one up, another one by Andrew.
Yeah, Micah has given us another game here. This again is going to be a medieval fantasy game that should be set in Alfheim, if I'm not mistaken. I can't recommend him highly enough as a game master, just because he is very player positive, incredibly creative, and knowledgeable with respect to the system and with respect to players. And I value every opportunity that I have to sit down with him and play a game. And I think folks will too if they join Frosthaven in Flames.
Gotcha. Okay.
Tell us about A Rough Night in Stahlbrook.
Okay, so this one is this is actually one of the introductory adventures from the Four Horsemen. So if you got the book, don't read this, don't spoil, and you want to join the game, don't spoil yourself. Just
Or Karl will take it out on you at the table.
yes,
I am glad to see material from the Four Horsemen getting some. Yes, indeed. Without, don't mess with the GM. When the GM has a sword, he can reach through the internet and do you dirty.
Oh, I see that
I'm
Dave
glad to
and
see that material
Hacker
from
joined
Four
us.
Horsemen is going to be part of Runejammer 2024. I'm super excited for that.
Okay, I see that Runehammer and Grimwood Games also joined us. Hope you're doing great, guys. So yeah,
Well, doing the best we can. Shout out again to Hank. So thanks.
okay. So going back to this one, this is not the game you were listening into, but I know that Earthman Break, Quest for Terrain, and Dungeon Mason all played in this one. It starts out with the party being out of work and almost penniless in a town that they're not local to. Basically, they've been displaced and they ended up in this place. So as they're trying to make ends meet, someone comes in and makes them an offer that yeah they could refuse, but they would be very stupid not to. Sorry, very stupid to refuse. And yeah,
I always appreciate any session that starts out with that very vulnerable rat catcher vibe.
yeah, I mean that's the whole vibe that I try to put into the Four Horsemen because you're always going to start out at the lowest levels. And yeah,
Excellent.
so yeah, basically they get an offer, and as these things usually do, everything goes downhill from there.
Good.
Okay, and yeah, by the way, anytime I think I ran this session, sorry, this scenario 3 times. I never got the anywhere near the path that I had expected the scenario to go.
I think that's the hallmark of a good session. It's
I
one that
guess, yeah.
says you may have had an idea of what could happen, but you clearly left the door open for the players to completely wreck that train, and I'm glad.
Yeah, the door is completely off the hinges. It's not even close to being there. Okay, let's see. Scott Kelly is saying, I was a bit surprised not to see any altered state setting games. I ran a campaign with these
Altered
rules.
State
Yeah.
is the Runehammer cyberpunk setting. It is available, and it is definitely worth checking out. It is unique. It's its own take on the genre, and it has a lot of fans. But as I said, this thing comes, we're flying by the seat of our pants. It may be the case that in the next 4 weeks, comments like that are able to generate an additional session. And you might see that there's an altered state game that is appearing on the Runehammer, I beg your pardon, on the Runejammer 2024 schedule before Game Week kicks off on July 20th. So you never know. Stay abreast of the schedule. And if you haven't joined the icrpg community server, which is linked through the Runejammer landing page, please do so. There's an RJ News channel, and that is the best way to find out when new games are added on the fly.
Okay, so yeah, make it happen. Okay, another Viking Death, what game?
Tater has kindly put together our second eponymous Viking Death Squad game, and that's going to take place on Thursday evening, July 25th. He is joining us as an event GM, new for Runejammer 2024, but he's a great guy, a real sweetheart, and very well favored in the Runehammer fan community on the Shield Wall.
Okay, and going on to the next one, let's see. The Blackmoor Sleep Experiment.
Showing and really showcasing his versatility, Jerry Whiting has put together this Crown and Skull game for us too. The title says it all. You wake up and bad things are being done to you. There's only so much time before the things that you don't want done get done. And you have to decide what you are going to do about it. I think it's a fantastic scenario. I look forward to hearing the feedback from it. And again, he is adding to our Crown and Skull catalog to make sure that the new system is extremely well represented at Runejammer 2024.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, it does sound super ominous and I like a bit of her.
Phil has outdone himself, and I gotta say about my friend Phil that I don't know anybody else who is part of this endeavor who goes to greater lengths to educate himself with respect to all kinds of inspiration as a game master. He's incredibly thoughtful. He's incredibly well versed. He's got a lot of experience, and he is doing what I personally would be terrified to do. And I think he's going to do a great job. So this is actually a two-part game session. In truth, you only need to show up for the game itself, which is on our final Friday there, July 26th, in the evening. But this is a live prep and play player's choice event. And he has got a live stream / works or a live workshop that takes place earlier in the day on Friday, where he's going to seek inspiration. And he has a model where he puts together a table or a list of fantastic locations, of important NPCs, of relevant monsters, of particular threats and goals. And he uses that to draw from on the fly. Players even have, the players who sign up for this session even have the option to choose which of the Runehammer Games system offerings they would like to operate under, and the rules for building their characters. All of these are up for grabs. So this is
all on the fly, right?
A tour de force of GM skill in operation, and I don't think anybody could do it better than Phil.
Nice. It is definitely a vulgar display of power. I love it. So, so I think the 8 to 11 is the game itself, yeah.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
And then I think it's 10 o'clock. You can check the Runejammer schedule, but I know it's earlier that morning. Is the optional prep session, and it doesn't necessarily mean that there are going to be spoilers. Yes, Phil is very cool, without a doubt. He is why we are able to do Runejammer for our second year now.
Okay, it's going to be interesting to see how he manages to do that without getting spoilers for the other session. So yeah. Next one, the meat wagon.
Yes, Micah again has stepped up to answer the call as we were getting more and more full. We decided to try to pivot and pull out some extra sessions to add that are just been added in the last couple of days to the catalog that weren't part of the catalog, event catalog, when we opened registration. And he put together this wonderful scenario, the meat wagon, with this bizarre, monstrous construction is tracing the land and leaving a path of ruin in its wake. And it's up to you to answer to the call and do something about it and see if you can put a stop to all of the bad things that are happening. So we want to give him our thanks also for, just like I was trying to explain earlier, answering the call, making sure that there are more games offered in primetime hours and every other hour that we can manage as demand increases. As I said, Runejammer is probably going to double in size this year. And honestly, we are not at full capacity yet. What I would like to say is that if you are thinking about joining one of these games and there's more than one seat available, we would love it if you would tell a friend. You know, you can enrich your own gaming experience by bringing somebody you know and also bringing them into the fold, making them part of the Runehammer fan community and the Shield Wall. Is a great opportunity. Today, June 22nd, if I'm not mistaken,
Yep.
is free RPG
Yeah,
day.
it is.
And so
It is,
there
yeah.
are friendly local game stores that are all over that are participating in this annual event where they make free content and premiums that are related to the RPG hobby available and promote people going to brick and mortar stores like the new Runehammer store that is going to be opening, and patronizing them and being part of that and getting something free in return. I think that the ethos that is behind Free RPG Day is very much in line with what we are doing at Runejammer, where we want to see new faces and we want to reward the old grognards and we want to bring all these people together to enjoy what is a really worthwhile and enriching hobby, and to be proud of that and showcase it to people who haven't had a chance to experience it for themselves. So we try to pull out all the stops, and apparently they're trying to do the same sort of thing. So when you guys go out to your friendly local game store today and you start talking with a bunch of geeks, mention Runejammer, tell them to check it out, and maybe we can bring more people into our community.
Yeah, absolutely. Spread the love. And yeah, Scott Kelly say that the meat wagon looks so wonderful, disgusting. Uh, Again, it's got tentacles, it's got weird stuff going on. Come on, what's not to love? But you know what?
I guarantee that is. I can't wait to hear the battle report from that one because I guarantee that's going to be a great session. Like I said, can't say enough good stuff about Micah.
Yeah, and you know what I really like about the drawing? It reminds me of the really old school illustrations on books,
It does. It
on
does.
gaming books.
It
Yeah.
has that vibe, that flavor, and that that energy and excitement to it. It's very evocative.
So I think that there's something to that feel that's being lost in most of the illustrations for modern games, especially the ones with full color and stuff and so on. That get these
Absolutely.
pencil illustrations that have a lot of character.
Exactly. And you can be sure that that was probably drawn by an actual person.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, tentacles.
As we are getting to the end here in the final Saturday, on the evening of Saturday the 27th, to help close out, Andrew S5 Photog has put together Dragon Slayers. Dragon Slayers is one of 2 beat the dragon scenarios, along with my Phlegathon Search for the Red Elder session at Runejammer 2024. It's going to be great fun. He really knows how to bring the pain. So it was not for the faint at heart, but I guarantee anybody who's lucky enough to sign up for that game will have an absolute blast. Like I say, he's a great GM, very thoughtful. He's a dear friend, and it's going to be kick-ass.
I mean, come on, dragon hunting. What's not to love?
Exactly. You can't get more classic.
Yep. Ooh, money.
This is going to be my closer. Thicker Than Water, an investigation into the eldritch and the uncanny, is another cosmic horror mystery investigation using my free Cthulhu hack supplement for icrpg Master Edition. It's on Saturday evening. It is part of a series. I'm super proud of this, actually. This is an adventure that has been written up for publication, and it's also going to be coming out in the next couple of months. It is it's part of what I hope to be a series of adventures that I have already run at my own home table and play tested, and want to try to spiff up and make presentable to bring to GMs. Called Secrets of the Sound. So this takes place in the Jazz Age, 1920s, in the Puget Sound, Seattle area, where I am currently residing. And it tries to give you a little bit of that historical flavor. This is one in which all of the investigators are friends or acquaintances by some means of the victim of a street robbery, Emma Hurst, and she is connected to each of the player characters. And as she has survived this attack, she has come down with a particular bloodborne illness that has got physicians stumped. And her time is short. Her friends have gathered, and one of her physicians, who has no clue as to how to help her, has only one option, which is to seek out a medical researcher who is remote and retired, a Dr. Lorchi, and he resides on an island in the San Juan archipelago. He is reclusive, but he previously, prior to leaving the university, had been doing research that could be Emma Hurst's only salvation. And so your group of investigators decides to take the evening ferry to Friday Harbor, charter a boat to Lorchi's private island the next morning, and try to see if they can entreat the doctor to help their friend. And as you like to say, Karl, things don't always go as planned. Well, that's the whole rest of the scenario. This is another one that can take a pretty big table, and I do still have a couple of seats left. I really am pretty happy with what I've been able to put together for this. The times that I have run it previously, I've really enjoyed myself, and I think the players have too. And I hope to share it with as many people as possible at Runejammer this year.
Okay, I have a question from Scott Kelly. Is this Hearst like Hearst Castle?
Actually, it isn't, but it should be.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Scott signed up for this.
Right on.
Yeah, see, advertising works. It works. Yeah, I mean, this feels like from what you told me, it sounds like classic Call of Duty adventure kind of thing. And I mean, I've read your Cthulhu hack. It's great for the for bringing those rules into index card RPG. So yeah, this should be very
Well,
good.
thank you. I appreciate that. You and I are both big Call of Cthulhu fans, if you're going for a crunchy skills-based game, the COC 7th edition is pretty hard to beat in a lot of ways. But if you're looking for something that still gives you opportunities for the same kind of feel and the same kind of structure to your adventures and the same themes, but you want it to be a little faster, a little funner, and a little less cumbersome. I think this is a pretty effective, simple 3-page hack that you can graft onto icrpg and make it work.
No, I absolutely appreciate being able to make something that feels exactly like a Call of Cthulhu character without needing a calculator. Okay, and yeah, Bruce is making terrible Call of Cthulhu rabbit puns in the comments, and I think we should take a second to appreciate them.
Absolutely.
Oh, good. Okay, let's move on before we start getting
I
merit-induced
think we got
PTSD. Yeah.
one more game left in the showcase, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, Matt Yancik of Manufactured Myth and Legerdemain is closing out Runejammer with a second scenario from his Bone and Metal setting. It is called The Rainy Season. Again, this has got blends of, like I said, if you were to cross TMNT with Seven Samurai, is how I think how I've heard it talked about. It looks absolutely fantastic. Matt is absolutely thoughtful and fantastic game master. I've watched his actual plays as well to see the kind of play that he puts into it. He's a passionate role player. Just a real thoughtful academic who takes all of his experience and expertise and puts it into good discussions and content for the RPG hobby. His YouTube channel has some fantastic interviews and games that's definitely worth checking out. We're super happy to have him be part of Runejammer 2024. And if you get a chance to visit the Manufactured Myth and Legerdemain Discord server too, he's got his own community that's worth checking out.
Awesome. And oh, I think that's the
That is
last
it.
of them.
That
Yeah.
is the entirety of the games that we still have that have open sessions. But I do encourage folks to visit runejammer.com, visit runejammer24.sked.com, check out that event catalog, and see what's happening. And also, if you join that icrpg community Discord server, you will get all the news as the event is approaching, as it kicks off, and as it is running its course this year. So if there are new games that are added, that's the first place to find out about it.
Okay, so anything else about that you would like to let people know about Runejammer, or any updates apart from that?
That is about all I probably know how to say about it. I am super grateful to you, Karl, not only for joining us this year to run great games, but also to help us get the word out about what we are doing. I really think that the role-playing game hobby, especially the tabletop role-playing experience, is something that is good for people. And I like that the guys who have banded together to try to put this on now for a second year pretty much feel the same way, that we want Runejammer to be a proof of concept for other fan communities and other people who are in the hobby to say, hey, you know what? You can have virtually zero budget. You can have a dozen guys with a little bit of free time after their regular day jobs. And with anywhere between a month or a couple of months of planning, you can put together something that rivals a small size in-person con and creates opportunities for play and for sharing the role-playing game experience with people who love it and with people who have never gotten a chance to see it in action before. We hope that this is an idea that spreads. And so if I can share that with your audience and invite them to contact the hosts uh, after the event, if they experience it for yourself and to contact the hosts afterward, we're happy to talk about it and to share in a kind of open source style our experiences to help you put on your own version of something like this. If there were a dozen fan communities related to different aspects of the hobby that were able to put an event like Runejammer on and
Every
serve
month, yeah.
200-300 people, it would make a this is something that could be happening every month, and that just gives a lot more people lots of opportunity to play.
Yeah, and I like the idea that it's a good way to meet new players and play with different people. Because
Yes,
I'll be
indeed.
honest, I think this will be the first time I will be running a game where I don't know exactly who I'll be running the game for beforehand.
It is, and that's fun too. It's fun, it's
Yeah, it is.
challenging, it's exciting. It keeps you on your toes as a GM, and like I said, randos are just friends you haven't met yet.
Yep. Okay, so I think we're going to wrap up here soon. But before that, I'm just going to drop the link to Dungeon Matron's Discord for anyone who wants to go to the after party on the voice chat.
Excellent.
Okay, also a reminder that we have. Oh, hi Mono, good to see you. We're talking about your game, and it is a lot of fun, man. So we're saying, yes, reminder that tomorrow we have another stream with Jeffrey from Red Doctoring. Definitely,
That's right. Looking forward to that as a crafter.
yeah. And we're going to have our community showcase tomorrow as normal. And reminder that next week on the 30th, we have our transport crafting challenge. So yeah, get your
There's
crafting
going to be a
together.
lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff for that one. I've seen the pictures so far.
Yeah, I mean, there were some great builds already. So once again, Chris, thank you so much, and thanks everyone for watching.
Thank you.
No, man,
Thank you
thank
very
you,
much. It's my
and it's
pleasure.
always a pleasure to talk to you. And bye, everyone. Catch you later or tomorrow. Bye.